Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this meeting of the Los Angeles City Council. Today's Friday, November 4th, 2022. Mr. Khan, you are disrupting the meeting. I'm instructing you, Mr. Khan, to take a seat, and the woman in the orange, please take a seat. Everyone who's standing in the center aisle now, please take your seat and stop shouting. You are disrupting this meeting. There will be no more warnings. For everybody who's in these council chambers, these disruptions will not go forward, and you will be excluded from the meeting if you do not immediately take a seat and be silent. You're not complying with my instructions, so sergeants, please escort Mr. Khan from the meeting. Please escort Mr. Khan from the meeting. He's been warned and he continues to disrupt this meeting, so please remove Mr. Khan and the woman standing next to him from the meeting. Sergeants? And while the sergeants are doing that, I'm going to ask the clerk to please call the roll.
So, hang on before you. So, Mr. Khan and the woman in orange, you were both ordered to leave the room quietly because you were violating Rule 12, right? If you don't do so, you'll be excluded from the next meeting if you're pursuant to Rule 7, if appropriate.
All right, this is a continuing actual disruption of the meeting. Mr. Khan, please leave the meeting. You are excluded from this meeting. And you are subject to Council Rule 7.
Correct. So just to be exceedingly clear, the woman in orange and Mr. Khan have both been ordered to leave the meeting quietly, and they're refusing to do so. They're violating Rule 7 by shouting and occupying the center aisle. And I believe the person that the sergeants are speaking to.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield, Bonin, Buscaino, Cedillo, De Leon, Harris-Dawson, Hutt, Peretz, Krekorian, Lee, O'Farrell, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez. 10 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, a quorum is present, but this meeting cannot proceed so long as this disruption continues. The disruptors need to be excluded from this meeting, and they are subject to Council Rule 7.
Yes. So, to reiterate, the President has ordered not only Mr. Khan and the woman in orange, but everybody was standing up there and disrupting the meeting removed. They were ordered to leave the meeting quietly, and they are not doing so. They were all standing in the aisle and shouting and keeping us from proceeding with our business. Okay, with the two gentlemen in the center aisle shouting now, you're disrupting the meeting. You're keeping.
So I've already given a warning to the entire room. To the two men who are standing in the aisle, you're instructed to sit down, please, and allow the meeting to proceed without disruption. Please stop shouting and take your seats. So I have respectfully asked and warned you that you need to take your seats so that the meeting can proceed. You need to immediately take your seats and be silent. You're not complying with my instructions. Sergeants, please exclude the two people who are yelling right now from the room.
So the two people in the center aisle shouting right now, you've been ordered to leave the room immediately, and you're not doing so. Now you've been ordered removed. And just in case the mics aren't picking up, the two gentlemen in the center aisle are leaving exceedingly slowly backwards. Only because LAPD is escorting them out. And they're still shouting the whole way, too.
So, for the record, the two people in the center aisle who I've ordered to be removed are still shouting, still have not made their way to the door, and the council still continues to wait because we cannot proceed with our meeting so long as this disruption is continuing. All right, as permitted under Assembly Bill 361, public comment will be taken via teleconference as well as in person. Public comment will be taken both in person in the council chamber and also via teleconference for today's meeting. Unfortunately, the ability to take public comment and conduct our meeting is being disrupted by two people who are standing in the center aisle and yelling. So I'm going to ask you to please take your seats and stop yelling. Please take your seats. I'm instructing you both to please take your seats. And there's somebody yelling in the back of the room as well. Sergeant said there's yelling coming from the back of the room as well. So anybody who's continuing to yell will be ordered excluded from the meeting. And you've been warned multiple times, and you're now ordered excluded from the meeting. So please leave the meeting.
So the two women in the center aisle, you've been ordered to leave the meeting quietly. Please do so right now. LAPD will escort you out. So they're not moving. And now we have a third person in the aisle who's shouting.
Okay, so all three of the people who are in the center aisle are ordered excluded from the meeting.
All right, so
and they are subject to Council Rule 7.
Yep. So they've all been ordered to leave quietly, and they're not doing so?
Yes, you need to leave the meeting immediately.
And they're not? And they're shouting?
You're instructed to leave the meeting immediately, silently, and peacefully.
They're actually shouting more now, and they don't appear to be moving at all. Just in case the mics aren't picking it up, they're shouting as loud as they have been.
To the members of the public who are here waiting to give public comment, I apologize for the delay. Hopefully this will be the last disruption and we'll be able to proceed with the council meeting when order is restored and there's silence in the chambers.